everybody. I'm Samantha Ellinger with FedScoop TV. I'm here at our 2016 FedTalks, and I'm talking to Mike Wilkerson, Senior Director in User Computing at VMware. Mike, thank you for joining us today.
Great, thanks for having me.
So my first question for you is just kind of general, how have you really seen the game change, if at all, for federal IT in 2016? Has there been anything that's really surprised you?
Yeah, actually, I think in 2016, the move to really adopt modernization strategies and cloud computing has really accelerated. It seems like in the past 12 to 18 months, more so than I thought it was going to.
Great. And all day today we've been really talking about cybersecurity. We've seen more and more emphasis yet again on cybersecurity in federal government. There's been new policy. Mm-hmm. We've brought in a new U.S. CISO, our first ever. How can industry really kind of help support this?
Great question. There's a couple of ways. One is by being active and participating in the standards bodies, because one of the things, as I mentioned earlier, as we modernize and transform IT, how the government changes or how the security policies have to be updated to take advantage of and in line with current technologies and capabilities. I think we in industry can do a better job of fully participating in standard bodies such as NIST and others that are helping to rewrite some of the cybersecurity policy that's more in line with today's technologies.
Great. No matter who takes office next January, how can industry keep playing this vital role in federal IT? How can they help?
I think first and foremost is continuing to stay active in organizations like FedScoop, where there's a good cross-pollination between both industry and government, at a very strategic level. And going back to what I said earlier, I think also about continuing to stay active, continuing to drive and to work with our customers and help them, regardless of which agency it is, irrespective of who's in office. I think a lot of the themes that we've seen for the past probably 10 to 15 years are going to stay the same around cybersecurity, around modernization, around cloud first. I think, the role that we play and how we can help is continue to stay involved and engaged and really help lead our customers along this transformational journey and make sure that, they're up to speed with what we're doing strategically as well, so that, we aren't off doing things that are completely out of alignment with what they're doing from a strategic perspective.
Great. Going back to something that you had mentioned earlier as a huge emphasis this past year, IT modernization. So why do you think IT modernization has become such a hot topic right now? Why do you think there's been so much movement in it? And what do you think government really needs to modernize the most?
Another great question. I kind of parallel it this way. The route to desktop computing or client computing 20 years ago wasn't deemed as rapid per se, because us as consumers in the home, not every home had a computer 20 years ago. Okay, you fast forward to today, and something I just talked about, everybody has a mobile phone. Almost everybody has a tablet of some sort. So we as users, as consumers of IT, are used to a certain experience when we do our jobs. You marry that with the workforce coming out of college today, who the idea of sitting behind a desk in an office 5 days a week to get their work done is completely out of whack, for lack of a better term, for them. They're used to working from anywhere, whether it's their schoolwork, whether it's projects. They're used to always on, always available from anywhere, regardless of what device I'm using. So you couple the user experience expected from us as consumers and as employees with the workforce that's coming into the workforce that's coming into the workforce today, and I think it's really forcing all of industry, commercial and government, to really take a hard look at modernizing our approaches to not only retain and attract top talent, but to be able to give our users and our consumers, the people that consume the services that IT supports, that same agile user experience that they have in their personal lives.
So we've talked a little bit about what we've seen recently in the past few years, even in the past few months. Now let's kind of look ahead. What do you see for the future of federal IT in 2017?
That's a great question. Regardless of what happens in the elections, I foresee continued acceleration towards the modernization and cloud journey within federal. I think, with a lot of the streamlining of the contracts and the way technology is acquired is really helping that and making things easier. I see a lot of the, more involving industry with things like DoD is doing around their, I can't think of the name of the program.
DIUX maybe?
DIUX,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
sorry,
DIUX.
so many acronyms. With DIUX, where you actually can help incubate and bring in some new cutting edge technology that maybe government wasn't aware of, to do some really interesting and neat things. So I don't see a huge change in policy, as far as what are our key to or top initiatives for government: cybersecurity, cloud first, and these sorts of things. But yeah, I see 2017 as just continuing to rapidly speed up the pace at which government's modernizing.
Awesome. Well, I think that's all we have time for today. Thanks for joining us
Thank
today.
you.
I'm Samantha Ellinger with FedScoop TV. Thanks for watching.